Hope all of you are excited to know more about the health benefits of seeds. Today we'll be talking about 5 super seeds that you can include in your diet if you have diabetes. So I'll just quickly go ahead and get started. I'm Shifa. I'm a nutritionist and diabetes educator. And today we'll be discussing all about seeds. So I'll just quickly go ahead and share my screen. Yeah, hope my screen is visible. Ayana, can you please confirm?
Yes, your screen is visible.
Great, thank you. Okay, great. So like I said, today we'll be talking about seeds and diabetes, right? So I'm sure all of you who have joined today are excited to know more about this, but I think we have heard a lot about seeds and nuts, and I think they're gaining popularity very, very soon, right? So we just wanted to, come on here and talk to you all about the 5 different seeds that you can start off with, if you have diabetes, right? So as you all know, you must have heard that they're extremely beneficial, like, seeds and nuts, right? So we're going to talk about the benefits of the seeds, how they can help you with diabetes or just, with your health in general, and also tell you the best way to consume them, right? So if you have any questions on this topic also, please go ahead and leave your questions in the comments, and we'll be answering the questions towards the end of the session, right? So please go ahead and leave your questions and we'll just quickly get started, right? Like I said, we'll be talking about seeds, right? So the first seed that we're going to be talking about today is chia seeds, right? I'm sure all of you have heard about chia seeds, and I think nowadays it's gaining a lot of popularity, especially because I think wherever you go on social media or on the internet, there are so many, recipes you can find with chia seeds, right? So let's look at what the benefits are, right? So first of all, as you can see, this is how chia seeds look, right? They also have a very, very good nutrient composition with about 17 grams of protein and, 42 grams of carbs in 100 grams of chia seeds. And this is also a really great source of omega-3 fatty acids, right? Now, omega-3 fatty acids are extremely, important fatty acids, which our body, needs, right? So it's extremely important, and it has a lot of various health benefits, right? It helps to reduce inflammation, and also, will help in restoring your HDL-LDL balance in case you have, lipid issues or, dyslipidemia, basically, right? And another thing or another reason why you should be including chia seeds in your diet is that it contains a lot of micronutrients, right? So micronutrients are basically your vitamins, minerals, and chia seeds in general contain lots of phosphorus, magnesium, calcium, right? And all of these nutrients help a lot, right? Like magnesium in itself helps a lot with, better sleep. It helps to improve insulin sensitivity. It also, has a lot of, impact on your immunity as well. And also when it comes to phosphorus and calcium, chia seeds also contain abundant amount of that as well. And that helps to also improve your bone health, right? So it helps, improve your bone density, reduces the risk of a lot of issues like osteoporosis or osteopenia, which, is much more common once, you start to age, right? So it can be a really great supplement or something you can add into your diet, right? So make sure, taking chia seeds is something that you do on a regular basis. It doesn't have to be daily, but it can be weekly once or weekly twice, right? So go ahead and add this in your diet as well. Now, along with all of these, right, chia seeds also contain lots and lots of fiber. So about 34 grams of fiber is present in about, 100 grams of chia seeds, right? So this is a great source of fiber, right? It also helps with digestion. Now, fiber is extremely important for our digestive tract. It helps to, keep our digestive tract intact. It helps to improve our gut microbiome. And because of its high fiber content, it also helps to slow down your digestion, right? And also reduces your, glucose spikes, right? So when you have more fiber in your meal and more protein in your meal, it automatically reduces your risk of, hyperglycemia, right? So this, because it contains a good amount of fiber, these are really great, seeds you can also, again, add into your daily diet. And again, because of all of this, like it contains lots of, like I mentioned, the micronutrients, the omega-3 fatty acids, especially this helps in giving it its cardioprotective and anti-inflammatory properties, right? So because of this, it also helps to improve your heart health and also decreases inflammation. And inflammation is something which happens in a lot of chronic conditions, right? Like diabetes, if you have thyroid, if you have high cholesterol, then there is automatically your body is in a state of inflammation. So including some sort of seeds or even nuts, which contain a lot of omega-3 fatty acids, will help also to reduce inflammation, right? So now that we have known about the different benefits of chia seeds, I'll just tell you what are the things you should keep in mind when it comes to consuming chia seeds, right? So first thing is that chia seeds, like I told you before, have a lot of fiber, right? Because of that, that it can cause a lot of digestive issues in case you are not going to be soaking them and not being hydrated, right? So first thing you have to keep in mind is that you have to soak your chia seeds, right? So it can be in liquids, any liquids, like you can do oats, yogurt, buttermilk, puddings, anything, right? Any beverages, you have to make sure you are soaking. Even plain water will do, but you have to make sure you're soaking the chia seeds at least an hour before you consume them. Now, what this does is it'll help hydrate the chia seeds so that, once you eat it, it doesn't cause a lot of digestive issues, right? Secondly, if you're starting off with chia seeds, I'm sure a lot of recipes online have, the quantity of like two tablespoons or 3 tablespoons or above, right? So if that is the case, don't, start off with 2 tablespoons, right? Gradually, you should be increasing your intake of chia seeds, right? Because like I mentioned, again, they have a lot of fiber. So if you start eating, fiber all at once, like high fiber all at once, your digestive tract may get impacted. You may have some digestive issues like bloating or, constipation. So in order to prevent that, you have to slowly add in or increase the quantity of chia seeds. So start off with like 1 teaspoon, then, 2 teaspoons, then slowly you can increase the quantity, right? So as long as you feel good when you're taking the food, and as long as you don't face any digestive issues, you can keep increasing the quantity, right? So that is something which you need to keep in mind, right? And also, in case you already have like another digestive issue, like be it IBS, IBD, you have acidity, you have constipation, which is already pre-existing, right? In that case also, it's best if you can talk to your doctor and your health coach, right? Ask them, is it a good option for you, and then proceed, right? And again, like I mentioned, these are a couple of, dishes you can add chia seeds so that you can incorporate them into your diet, right? So you can see all of that. It's like yogurt, oats, buttermilk, any liquid, it can be added, and you can even soak your chia seeds in water and add them into solid foods like fruit bowls or something like that. So these are like some good options for you to keep in mind, right? So we'll just move on to the next seed, which is flax seeds. Again, this is something which you must have heard a lot about, right? So this is a really good source of alpha-linolenic acid, right? Or ALAs. Now, alpha-linolenic acid are basically fatty acids which are essential for our body, right? So whenever we eat fats, we don't actually, we have to get certain fats from the food we eat because our body is not able to make them on its own. And this alpha-linolenic acid is one of such, the fats which our body is not able to make. So you have to eat it from your diet, right? You have to eat it through food. So this the flaxseed contains a good amount of alpha-linolenic acid, right? And this again helps a lot with, keeping your, cholesterol levels in check, keeping your LDL levels in check, and also just, keeping your triglycerides and everything in check, right? And secondly, it contains lignans, right? Which is a type of fiber, right, which again helps to improve the gastrointestinal health. Right now, again, a lot of fibers are going to be discussed in today's topic. Like most of the seeds are really good sources of fiber, protein, and healthy fat. So, this is a specific type of fiber which is present in flax seeds, which is called lignans, right? And these are extremely important. They're very good basically in order to keep your digestive system in check, right? So again, like our gut loves fiber, right? Because when we eat enough fiber, what happens is they get, fermented in our gut, right? They get fermented in our gut and they release something called fatty acid. They release short chain fatty acids, which are actually something that is like nourishing for our gut microbiome, right? So that is the reason why you should be including lots and lots of fiber in your diet, and lignans are a type of fiber which you should also be including in your diet. So if you're taking flax seeds, you can definitely ensure you're getting the sufficient amount of fiber as well, right? And another benefit of flax seeds again is that it also helps with glucose control, right? Because again, all of these seeds contain lots of fiber, protein, and healthy fat. They also, all of them actually help with reducing your sugar spikes. They help in reducing your fasting glucose levels. They help in reducing your triglyceride levels, like I said, right? So they definitely will help, and all of this is only because of their nutritional composition, right? And another thing which flaxseed contains is lignans, right? Now these are basically substances which help in reducing your insulin resistance, right? So this is something which I would say that this is again not a fiber, but it's another compound that is present in flax seeds, which is again has a lot of benefits in order to reduce your insulin resistance, right? And again, another two things which is present in flax seeds are arginine and glutamine, which are basically amino acids, right? And these amino acids are something which help in improving your heart health and also immunity, right? So these are all the benefits of flax seeds. So again, this is something which you can definitely include into your diet. If you're looking to add in some healthy fats in your diet, or if you're wanting to change, your maybe you want to change from a different seeds to different nuts, or nuts to seeds, you can definitely add all of these in your diet, right? So a couple of things you should keep in mind when you're eating flax seeds is that first thing is that you should make sure that you roast them and grind them, right? So it's best if you can grind the flax seeds after roasting them, because then it makes the digestion much more easier, right? And one more thing you have to keep in mind when it comes to flax seeds is that some of the seeds, they may have like anti-nutrients, right? These are basically things that can actually reduce the absorption of vitamins or minerals, or impact our digestion as well, right? So it can be phytic acid or something like that, right? So make sure that you roast them and you ground them before you add them into whatever dishes, right? And secondly, also you have to keep in mind that you do not consume it in excess, right? Again, because of the high fiber content, they can actually lead to some gastrointestinal issues like bloating, abdominal pain, or even like flatulence, right? Another thing is, again, with flax seeds as well, you have to make sure that you are staying well hydrated, right? Because again, whenever you increase your fiber intake, right, you have to automatically increase your hydration as well. That is like a relationship between fiber and water. So you have to, whenever you increase the fiber intake, whatever you're increasing it through, like it could be seeds, could be vegetables, it could be a supplement as well, whatever it is you're doing, you have to make sure you are staying well hydrated. Otherwise it can lead to like constipation or some sort of digestive issue, right? So you have to keep these in mind. And like I mentioned, do make sure to grind them. And if you're not able to eat flax seeds as they are, you can always add them, like grind them, add them into your chapati flour, your wheat flour, millets. You can make like laddus out of it. You can add them into your buttermilk, your smoothies. If you're making dal, you can just add the ground flax seed. You won't even realize there is flax seed in the meal. So it's a very simple way to actually improve the nutritional value of any meal, right? So these are the things you have to keep in mind. So moving on to the next seed, which is pumpkin seeds, right? Now pumpkin seeds are one of the most healthiest seeds. It has great amounts of calcium, vitamin E, that is tocopherols, PUFA, which are basically healthy fats, right? So it has a good amounts of fats, and also has carotenoids, which are like vitamin A, right? So this is like, it has a great, it has a very good nutritional composition basically, right? And because of the magnesium, because of the carotenoids and the tocopherols, which are basically like antioxidants, right? So they help in reducing oxidative stress in our body, right? So it is a very good antioxidant. So because of all of this, it also has an anti-hyperglycemic effect, meaning that it will it reduces the risk of hyperglycemia or high blood sugar levels, and it will keep your blood sugar levels in check. And not only this, because of the tocopherols, because of the carotenoids, they also do have some anti-cancer properties as well, right? They also contain zinc, selenium, and copper, which also very much lead to these effects of anti-cancer and anti-hyperglycemic. And also selenium is also extremely good for thyroid health as well, and also for copper, right? And also another very important or very interesting thing which is contained in pumpkin seeds are tryptophan, right? Now tryptophan is basically something which can help in the synthesis of melatonin, which is like the sleep hormone, and serotonin, which is also known as the happy hormone, right? So tryptophan is something which helps in the synthesis of these two hormones, right? So because of that, when you take pumpkin seeds, which are a good source of tryptophan, it can actually help in improving your sleep, right? So if you think poor quality sleep or trouble sleeping, and it also helps to reduce the symptoms of, let's say, anxiety or depression or stress. So it helps to relieve stress as well, right? Because of the presence of tryptophan. So you can definitely include them in your diet. Again, including this in your daily diet can also be very, very helpful, right? And one more thing is that it helps to reduce high cholesterol levels and is also very, very good for your heart, right? This is something which I also wanted to let you all know. And just one point that I missed with flax seeds is that one thing you have to be very careful when you're taking flax seeds is that it is not something that is recommended, especially for people with hypothyroidism. So if you have hypothyroidism, do talk to your doctor, do talk to your health coach before you start off with flax seeds, because it does seem to, disrupt the thyroid function. So do just keep that in mind as well, right? So this is about pumpkin seeds, and let's look at what are the things you have to keep in mind when it comes to eating pumpkin seeds, right? So first thing is that you can either take them raw, or you can dry roast them, dry roast them without any ghee, right? Usually I think when we make like roast nuts or seeds like cashew nuts or almonds, we usually add ghee, we add salt and everything, right? So don't add all of those. You can just dry roast them on a tawa and not even add salt. So that would be the best way to take them, right? So you get the most nutritional benefit out of them. And again, when it comes to any seed, right, any seed, any nuts, you have to make sure that you are soaking them, right? Most of the seeds need to be soaked, right? So if you again have digestive issues, make sure you are soaking them, because sometimes it can lead to like some digestive symptoms like bloating or something like that. So in case you are prone to that, then make sure you soak it. But if you're able to tolerate it without soaking, it's fine, but it's best if you soak it. Also, like soaking also helps to remove all of the anti-nutrients that is present, right? So that is another thing you have to keep in mind. And also one more thing you have to keep in mind with pumpkin seeds is because it contains, like I said, a lot of magnesium and copper and selenium and all the minerals, right? It can actually lead to actually helps reduce your blood pressure. It helps to keep your blood pressure levels in check. So in case you do have in case you are hypotensive, if you have low blood pressure, or if you are on medications for hypertension, then make sure that you do not over consume the pumpkin seeds, right? So do let your doctor know, do let your health coach know that you're taking this, because sometimes, like I mentioned, they do have a tendency to lower your blood pressure levels. So that is something you have to keep in mind. And how can you include pumpkin seeds in your diet? You can obviously add them into soups, right? So a pumpkin soup with lots of pumpkin seeds on top, or any soup for that matter, it has really good toast, nutty flavor. So it goes very well with lots of foods. It can be added into salads, into oats. You can make savory oats, sweet oats, whatever it is that you want to make. Trail mixes, breads and roti, you can basically again grind them and add them into the flour. And of course, beverages. So any beverages you're making, smoothies, buttermilk, anything, you can again add the powder or the whole seed. So these are something that you have to keep in mind. So moving on to the next seed, which is sunflower seed. Right now, sunflower seed contains a couple of phenolic compounds. Now these are again these special compounds that basically help in reducing inflammation, which have antioxidant properties, right? These are your caffeic acid, chlorogenic acid, and quinic acid, right? These sunflower seeds are very good sources of these. And these acids, like each of these are phenolic compounds, right? Now they have different functions basically, but the majority of them help with reducing oxidation, right? They have an antioxidant property. Now because of this, they are very much useful. Like it helps to prevent cancer, it helps to prevent diabetes. It has anti-diabetic, anti-cancer properties, and also helps to reduce inflammation in the body. It is very, very useful for all these chronic inflammatory conditions, right? Like inflammatory bowel disease, or IBS, or thyroid, or cholesterol, heart disease. All of these are again inflammatory conditions, right? So in case you do have any of these, or you have even like a high blood pressure, or some sort of like metabolic issue, like diabetes also has more inflammation, right? So in this case, you can definitely add in sunflower seeds into your diet, because they do have a lot of antioxidants, which and anti-inflammatory compounds, like these phenolic compounds. So you can definitely add them. And one more thing is, they are also a good source of vitamin E, which is again a very good antioxidant, and also B vitamins, right? B vitamins, copper, selenium, manganese, and iron, right? These are also very good sources of this. And because they contain good amounts of these, like B vitamins and manganese, selenium, all of this, it actually helps to improve your energy, right? So if you feel that you're feeling very tired, fatigued, and everything, you can definitely add in sunflower seeds into your meal, or your routine, because what happens is vitamin B is very, very useful when it comes to your energy metabolism, right? So whatever you're eating has to be like metabolized, and you need to use, your body basically needs the nutrients from there, right? So vitamin B can be very, very helpful for that. And even copper and selenium are extremely important minerals for your body. And again, like I said, selenium, because it has selenium, it also is very good for thyroid health as well. So you can obviously add this. Now again, because of all of these anti-inflammatory compounds, the vitamins, minerals, especially magnesium, sunflower seeds can also help to improve your HDL levels, and also your FBS, or your fasting. Right now, basically all the seeds that we have discussed so far, all of them will definitely help in keeping your blood sugar levels in check. They will definitely help to reduce your insulin sensitivity, because insulin resistance, and improve your insulin sensitivity, because they do have a lot of like magnesium, selenium, and all of these anti-inflammatory, antioxidant substances that actually work to improve your insulin sensitivity. So these are some seeds I wanted to discuss. And how do we actually take those sunflower seeds? One thing is, you can add them into your like tikkis, like if you're making like a aloo tikki, vegetable tikki, like paneer tikki, whatever it is, you can like roast them, grind them, and add it into it, right? You can add them into stir fries, or salad dressings, or even like pestos, right? You make with either basil seeds or spinach seeds, and you can add them into breads or salads, right? And again, a couple of things you should keep in mind when it comes to sunflower seeds, right? Because they are quite an oily seed, right? So you have to remove the shell of the seed, right? You have the sunflower seeds, you have to remove the shell before you take it, because again, that can impact your digestion. And secondly, you can also buy, whatever is available in the market. They also do have the shelled seed as well. So you can definitely get that as well. Or if you're buying the, one with the shell, make sure you remove it, right? Again, they can be roasted or baked and be added into any such foods like I mentioned. And again, like I mentioned, they are quite oily seeds. You extract the oil from sunflower seeds, right? So because of this, they have the tendency to go rancid, meaning their taste and their smell, they might change. So it can become quite unpleasant. So you don't want to, have that, right? That basically happens when it is exposed to air. So to avoid that, make sure you always store them in an airtight container so it doesn't go rancid. Okay, so that is one thing you should again keep in mind. So moving on to the last seed, which is the watermelon seed. Okay, so now it's watermelon season, and I'm sure all of you must be eating a lot of watermelon, and hope all of you are not throwing out the seeds. I hope you're all eating the seeds as well, because they are very, very, again, great things to be included in your diet. Like they have good amounts of micronutrients, that is vitamins and minerals, like magnesium, zinc, folate, and everything, and also a lot of polyphenols, right? And again, polyphenols, like I mentioned, are something very similar to, which again help to reduce and oxidation and also reduce inflammation in the body. So very good things to be added in your meal is again watermelon seeds. And one more thing with watermelon seeds is they also help to boost your immunity and also cell function, right? So because they have zinc and folate, they definitely will help improve immunity and cell function, also help to improve your DNA synthesis, and also help to maintain the health of the DNA. And basically also because of that, it also has some anti-cancer properties as well, right? And one more thing is, like I mentioned mentioned, all the seeds have a lot of good fats, right? They have PUFAs, MUFAs, basically all the unsaturated fatty acids, right? Seeds are abundant in them. So make sure that you do take them in your diet. Any of the seeds, like we discussed 5 seeds today, so any of them can be taken. But again, watermelon seeds are really good sources of PUFAs and MUFAs and omega-3. So these can definitely help improve your lipid level. So if you have high cholesterol, or if you have a low HDL or a high LDL, adding seeds into your diet, even watermelon seeds, can be very, very helpful. And one more thing with watermelon seeds is because they contain magnesium and everything, they definitely also will help with your bone health and also your skin health as well. So this is something I want to talk about watermelon seeds. And moving on to how can you, add them into your diet. Again, adding them into soups or salads is a great way to consume them. Just sprinkling them on top of fruits, right? Like again, when you take the fruits with any nuts or seeds, right, they definitely help to keep your sugar levels in check and will prevent a spike. So if possible, go on and sprinkle some seeds into your fruits. That again will be very, very helpful, right? And again, you can add them into puddings, beverages, or even gravies. Like watermelon seeds are they can be ground and made like a paste and can be added into gravies. They give it a very nice, rich flavor and also texture. So that is something you can do. But one thing is you have to roast them and consume it. And you can also, add them in, soak them in water, and you can sprout them, right? And then you can consume the sprouts as well. But again, with any seeds, you always have to make sure that in case you have a digestive issue, or if you're prone to, digestive issues like acidity, bloating, anything of that sort, always talk to your doctor, your health coach, so they can then guide you, with the right quantities and the right, way to take them. So this is all about seeds that I wanted to talk about. Now, I think we can take up a couple of questions, right? So if you have any questions, please go ahead, leave it in the chat box, and I'll be able to answer them. And we also have a small activity for all of you, right? So there will be a poll that will be popping up for you on YouTube. So you can just identify the seed, right? So this is there are 3 seeds for you to identify. So you can just definitely go ahead and, identify what the seeds are, and we'll be also giving the answers towards the end of the session. But I think, Ayana, we can go ahead and, start taking questions.
Sure, we can start with the questions. So the first question is by Sharma sir, right? So he's asking that he has pancreatic diabetes, and after getting recovered from that, from severe acute pancreatitis, he wants to know how long will it take for him to recover. And his fasting sugar levels are 140 and his postprandial is 175. So he wants to know if he can reverse his diabetes or not.
Okay, got it. So, sir, Sharma, sir, basically the thing is with pancreatitis or pancreatic diabetes, right, there can be destruction of your beta cells, right? So beta cells are the cells which release insulin, basically. So if there is destruction, then it is not reversible, unfortunately, but you can very well manage it. Right, you can keep your blood sugar levels in check. You can keep your fasting under 100. You can keep your postprandial under 140, all with the help of a diet and lifestyle. Right, you may not be able to reverse it, but you will definitely be able to manage it well. You'll be able to keep your sugar HbA1c levels in check. But again, when it comes to like how long will it take for you to recover? The first thing is you have to again speak with your doctor, because I'm sure you are on medications or insulin, right? And you would have gone through a couple of treatments. So first talk to your doctor. It all depends like your doctor will be able to help you understand how much or what is the duration that you need to recover from the pancreatitis, right? And secondly, you can obviously get in touch with a coach. They will be able to help you with the proper diet and lifestyle changes that will help you to keep your sugar levels in control, right? So even though it is not reversible, like I said, because there's no beta cells, you will still be able to keep your blood sugar levels in check. You'll be able to keep your fasting less, your postprandial in control, and all of that again will help you to prevent the further complications from happening. So I would say that would be the suggestion for you.
Great. So the next question is from Miss Deepthi Mangla. So she's asking if the seeds can be taken with tea.
Okay. Got it. So, ma'am, I wouldn't. Okay. So, the thing is, when you take anything with tea or something which contains, like, basically, tea contains tannins, and what they also contain a lot of other anti-nutrients. Now, what this does is, whenever you combine your tea with any food, even breakfast, lunch, snacks, whatever it is, it is always going to reduce the absorption of the minerals and the nutrients in that food, right? So if you're having tea, I would say have tea as it in itself, right? Have tea and give a gap of, let's say, 10-15 minutes, and then have the meal or the snack, right? When you combine it, you're basically losing out on the nutrients that you could have actually gotten, right? So basically, like, let's say, like I mentioned, all the seeds have a lot of magnesium, a lot of calcium, and a lot of, other micronutrients like zinc and copper, right? So when you combine them with tea, you're not actually getting how much ever you could have got. Basically, you're reducing the bioavailability of the seed when you combine them with tea. So I would say not to take it with tea, but you can have tea separately, and then 10 minutes later or 15 minutes later have the seeds, right? So that anti-nutrients, the interaction does not happen. Hope that answered your question, ma'am.
Right. Also, Mr. Pankaj has a question. So his question is, do chia seeds need to be cooked or eaten raw?
Okay, so chia seeds, Mr. Pankaj, they need to be soaked in water or any liquid, right? They need to be soaked in liquid. They don't need to be, cooked as such. They just need to be soaked. They can be had raw as well. But only thing you have to make sure you soak them so that you don't get any digestive issues or any issues after you consume them.
क्या नाम है तेरा?
And
चंदा. Chanda.
I'm sorry. Yes. So Manish sir's question is, what is the quantity and time and the season to eat flax seeds?
Okay, quantity. So basically, like I mentioned with seeds, right, you need to start gradually, right? Not just with, chia seeds, any seeds. I would say start off with 1 teaspoon. Then you can increase it to 2 tablespoons. So in a day, the recommendation is that you can have 2 tablespoons of seeds. This can be either flax seeds, or you can combine all the seeds and then have 2 tablespoons. But seeds in general should be maximum, or the recommended quantity is 2 tablespoons in a day, which is about 30 grams, right? So flax seeds, again, you can add them in your diet, like I mentioned, gradually increase the quantity. So start with 1 teaspoon, then 2 teaspoons, then 1 tablespoon, then 1.5, then 2. That is something that you can do. And there is no specific season as such, but you can definitely have them whenever. But again, like I mentioned, if you have any thyroid issue like hypothyroidism, then again, it is something you need to avoid, or speak to your doctor, speak to your health coach, so they can help you better.
Right. And Yvonne ma'am has a question, which I think is a repeated question by a lot of people, right? So Yvonne ma'am is specifically asking if flax seeds need to be soaked before eating. And there are other questions like from Lata ma'am, right? She's asking, should all of the seeds be soaked or roasted before eating?
Okay, so basically chia seeds need to be soaked. They don't have to be roasted, right? But other seeds like flax seeds, sunflower seeds, every other seed, you can soak them and then you can roast them. That's not a problem at all. So the thing is, soaking is recommended to basically, again, improve their digestion and to also reduce the anti-nutrients present in them. So in case you're able to tolerate the seeds without soaking them, you can just roast them and have them. But in case they do cause some issues for you, definitely soak them and then roast them and you can eat them. Hope this answers your question.
Yes. And Lata ma'am and Neera ma'am, they have a similar question. So they wanted to ask if all of these seeds can be taken together, or should it be eaten separately and at different times?
Okay, so there's no issue with combining, seeds. You can definitely have all the seeds together. But like I mentioned, you have to, the quantity, the maximum quantity of seeds you can consume in a day is 2 tablespoons, right? So as long as you are staying within that limit, in that 2 tablespoons, you can add whatever seeds you want. So chia seeds, flax seeds, sunflower seeds, watermelon seeds, pumpkin seeds, whatever it is, 2 tablespoons is the limit. So stay within the limit and then you can consume it.
Right. And Yvonne ma'am has a question. She's asking if pumpkin seeds can be eaten raw, and in what dishes can she add the pumpkin seeds?
Okay, so pumpkin seeds they need to be roasted. It's not advisable to take them raw. Again, it basically, you're just making sure that it is more digestible for you, right? So that is the reason why anything is roasted or soaked, right? So make sure you roast them. And again, adding them into dishes, you can add them wherever you want. You can roast them and grind them. You can add them into soups. If you're making a salad dressing, you can add, some olive oil, pumpkin seeds, some salt, or like chili flakes or whatever, and then, make the dressing. So salad dressings, you can add them in soups, like just sprinkle them on top of soups, or, when you're making the soup, you can even add like pumpkin seed powder also on top, like anything, even like baked foods. If you're making like breads, you can add it in there. Like anything, you can, every single food, either if you're making a flour, right, like if you're making like a millet dosa or a millet idli, you can definitely grind the pumpkin seeds or any of these seeds, right? You can grind it and add it into the flour or the batter, right? And then you can make the specific dish, right? So anything, you can even add them in curries, or even sabzi also, you can definitely sprinkle them on top and you can consume them. So it's a very pumpkin seeds are quite tasty, so you will not find have any issue with the taste as such. So with any food, you can definitely include them.
So Kalvajit sir is asking, what is the quantity of seeds that needs to be taken on a daily basis?
Okay, so I think we've answered this question quite some time now. So like I mentioned, the quantity of seeds, right, that you should be taking in a day, the maximum or the limit is 2 tablespoons. So if you're taking any seed, it can be 2 tablespoons of flax seeds, it can be 2 tablespoons of sunflower seeds, or it can be like 1 tablespoon of flax seed, 1 tablespoon of sunflower seeds. Like whatever seed you're taking, or if you want to combine your seeds, you can combine them also. But again, make sure that the limit is 2 tablespoons, right? So that is basically the recommendation. So 30 grams is almost equal to 2 tablespoons.
Right. And Lata ma'am has a question. So what about til or sesame seeds? Can we include that as well in the diet?
Yes, definitely. Sesame seeds also are a very good source of, healthy fats. Like they're very, again, very cardioprotective. So you can definitely include, sesame seeds. You can, add them into whatever you would please, because they're also something which is extremely, doesn't have a very strong taste. So you can add them into any specific food.
Right. And Taryn sir has a question. He wants to know what changes he can make in his diet, because he has a very small appetite. And by the time he finishes his salad, he doesn't feel like eating his meal. And he ends up skipping his meal sometimes. So any advice for that?
Okay, so if you have a very small appetite, so I would say space out your meals, right? Just make sure you, like, if you're not able to have a large meal at once, maybe have your salad like maybe half an hour before your meals, when you're quite, you at least get hungry by then. If not, if you're feeling discomfort after eating the salad, if you're having raw vegetables, just try to slightly cook them. Just lightly cooked vegetables, try to do that, because sometimes some people don't do well with cooked raw veggies. So just try with, even lightly cooked veggies, not extremely well cooked, just lightly cooked veggies, because that can also help. And again, spacing out your meals, right? So again, appetite, you may not be able to eat a large quantity at once. So make sure that, let's say if you're having your lunch at like 1 p.m., right? Make sure you have your salad by 12:30, right? So in that case, you're still getting the necessary amount of fiber and nutrients that you want, but you can still have your lunch, right? Because again, salad, I think, is quite low in calories. So you may not be able to meet all of your nutritional requirements if you do not have the meal, right? So make sure you are spacing them out. And if that also doesn't work, just try to have a lightly cooked salad, and have regular meals throughout the day. Maybe you can also increase number of snacks that you take throughout the day. That also can again be very helpful. And again, if you have an issue with having large quantities of meals, the other thing is to make sure that every single meal you take is nutrient dense, right? So don't go for like meals which are just calorie dense, right? Make sure you also go for nutrient dense meals, which means that you should be having good amounts of vitamins, minerals, proteins, fats, and carbs in that particular meal. So it can be even a small quantity, but make sure it is like a healthy, nutrient dense meal. So again, spacing it out, adding in more snacks in your day, and also lightly cooking the salad and having it at least 1 hour to half an hour before the meal will also be helpful.
Great. So there are two more questions by Taryn, sir. So one of the question is, what is the best exercise for controlling blood sugar levels?
Okay, so sir, basically there is like no one best exercise. So any exercise, right, will definitely help you control your blood sugar level, because when you're exercising, right, you're either building muscle, you're also you're improving muscle mass, you're improving your blood flow, you're improving just you're burning calories, right, in general, and you also use up the glucose in the blood, right, because obviously your body requires the glucose when you're exercising. So any form of exercise, be it yoga, be it swimming, be it Pilates, be it strength training, whatever it is, it will certainly help to, reduce your blood sugar levels. But just make sure that you are doing it regularly, and just find something that works for you, right? Find what works best for you. But also, if you do not have time, the nitric oxide dump exercise works very well when it comes to, if you don't have time, it's just a 5-minute exercise that you can do throughout the day that will help in keeping your sugar levels in check. So just make sure that you do that. Any form of exercise, be it cardio, be it strength training, everything is good. But I just want to again point out that muscle building is also extremely important. Like just building lean muscle mass is important when it comes to improving your insulin sensitivity, because the more muscle you have, the more insulin sensitive you are. Right. So again, focus also a bit on weight training or strength training or even body weight exercises, because that again will help you a lot to improve your insulin sensitivity. But any exercise which moves your body, which be it cardio, be it anything, will definitely help to reduce the sugar levels.
Great. So another question by him is ghee healthy or unhealthy? And should ghee be completely avoided?
Okay, so I would not say ghee is healthy or unhealthy. I would say ghee is something you can definitely take, but you don't have to completely avoid it. Just the one thing I want to tell you is with ghee or with any type of fat, right? Moderation is the key. So you have to make sure that you are taking it in the in a lesser quantity, basically, because ghee is it's quite high in calories, high in fat, right? Also saturated fat is slightly higher because it is like an animal fat, right? So that is something you have to keep in mind. But you can definitely have ghee, again, less quantities, and like don't have like 2 to 3 tablespoons of ghee. Just like 1 teaspoon a day will definitely will be good. And also, again, if you have like high cholesterol or high HDL, LDL, or anything like that, then you have to again speak with your coach, because they will be able to help you with the right amount of ghee that you should be taking. But again, quantity is important, and you don't need to actually avoid any specific food.
Great. Thank you for answering that. And now we have a question from Manju Agarwal, and he's asking that he's been diabetic for a very long time. His sugar levels are 112, which I'm assuming is fasting, and he's also on insulin and taking oral medication. So what can he do to bring his sugar levels down?
Okay, so I would say fasting 112 is not extremely high, right? So I'm assuming that your fasting levels are in control or not that high, only because of the insulin and the medications, right? So I would say that for you, you need to, I would say your goal, or anyone on this call, on this meeting, the goal would be to reverse diabetes and stop medications, right? So in order for you to achieve that, the first thing you need to achieve is to make sure your diet is well and good. So making sure you're having a balanced meal, making sure you're controlling your portion sizes, making sure you're eating like good amounts of fiber and protein in every single meal. That is the major key for you to reduce your sugar levels, be it fasting, be it postprandial. Your diet is extremely important, right? So I would say, along with your medications, along with your insulin, that is not enough, right? Medications are not something that is going to help you in long-term sugar control, but diet is something that is going to help you a lot, right? So make sure that you are focusing a lot on what you eat, how much you eat, and when you eat, right? So again, quantity is extremely important. And also make sure that you are having fiber in the form of vegetables in every single meal. So vegetables should be there in breakfast, lunch, dinner, and also maybe snack. Also, you can do a salad, you can add all your subsidies. Make sure vegetables are there every single time, at least 50% of your meal should be vegetables. Like 50% of your plate, right, should be vegetables. Then also have protein, like lots of good sources of protein are, again, seeds also have protein. There's paneer, there is chicken, there is fish, eggs, all your lentils, legumes like chickpea, rajma, chana, all of those also have lots of protein, soya, tofu. So all of this should also be added in your meal. So every single meal should have protein and fiber. That's the other thing I want to tell. And again, exercise, right? Any form of exercise you enjoy doing, make sure you also stay active for at least 15-30 minutes a day, right? The recommendation is 30 minutes a day for 5 days a week. So you can definitely start, if you're not doing any exercise, start 15 minutes, then increase duration to 30 minutes, and maybe 1 hour also will be good. So exercise, diet control, and also eating on time, taking all your medications on time, eating like having a set meal time each day will again be very, very helpful when it comes to improving insulin resistance and reducing your sugar levels. Hope that answered your question, Manju sir.
Right. So Danny has a question. Is it all right to include methi seed water?
Right. Yes, definitely. You can definitely include methi seeds water in your, your day. But again, methi seeds sometimes may cause hypoglycemia if you are also taking medications along with it. So just keep your coach and your doctor informed about it, and it will be fine.
Right. And he has another question. Is it possible to feel uneasiness with chia seeds?
Yes. So yes, it is possible to feel uneasiness. Like I said, right, chia seeds are like contain lots and lots of fiber. And another thing is they are also extremely, they absorb a lot of water, right? So make sure whenever you're taking chia seeds, you have to not take a large quantity all at once if you're just starting off, right? So if you're just starting with chia seeds, only start with a small quantity, maybe even half a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon. You should start with that. Make sure you're, then gradually increasing quantity. And along with that, always soak the chia seeds in water, right? At least for 1 hour. Like overnight soaking is the best, but if you're able to soak even for 1 hour, that should be okay. So make sure you soak it. Make sure you gradually increase the quantity you take. Don't take like 2 tablespoons. When you start off with half teaspoon, 1 teaspoon, then slowly increase the quantity. And thirdly, make sure you're drinking lots and lots of water when you're taking chia seeds, right? So when you're taking lots of fiber, make sure you are drinking lots of water. Don't stay dehydrated. Like drink at least 2 liters of water if you are taking the chia seeds. So that would be my suggestion. This can help in reducing the uneasiness. The uneasiness could only be because of digestive discomfort, because again, like I said, high fiber, our gut also has to digest it, right? So make sure you are drinking lots of water and eating them gradually and soaking them very well. So that can help with reducing the uneasiness.
Right. So I think we can take 2 more questions before we end the call. Right. So one question is from Sachin sir. So he's asking, how long do the seeds need to be soaked in water before consumption?
Okay, so like I said, you can do an overnight soak, that also will help. But if you cannot do an overnight soak, at least for 1 hour, if you're able to soak, that should do. Hope that answered your question, Mr. Sachin.
Yes. And I think this is the last question that we can take up. So Anupama ma'am, she's asking if soaked black gram and moong dal can be taken daily or not.
Soaked, okay. Moong dal, is it?
Yes, moong dal and soaked black gram.
Okay, so you can definitely take these, these legumes and lentils. But one thing is, some people tend to have like digestive discomfort if they take lentils on a daily basis, right? But it all depends on your body. So if they are working well for you, if they are not causing you any digestive discomfort, if they're not causing you bloating, flatulence, because that is something which some people see when they take these lentils on a daily basis. So if that is not, they're not causing you any discomfort as such, you can definitely go ahead and take them, right? But again, make sure that either you sprout them, you soak them, because again, soaking and cooking them the right way, sprouting them also will again help you to prevent these digestive discomfort. Again, sprouting also increases the B vitamins in the the lentils. So go ahead, you can find different ways to use them, soak them very well. cook them very well. Also make sure you are, listening to your body. Like if they are not causing you any issues, go ahead, you can have them. But if they are causing you issues, then that is when you need to, listen to your body. If, just understand why that is happening and find out if that could be the reason and then stop it. So that would be my suggestion. So it all depends on your digestive system. If it's not causing you any issues, you can take it. Otherwise, I would say sprout them or soak them very well and then take it. Even if that is causing you an issue, then I would say talk to a coach, talk to a doctor, and understand what is the best way for you to incorporate these legumes in your diet. So that would be my suggestion.
Great. Thank you so much, Shifa. Thank you for patiently answering every question and taking up this session. I hope everyone has taken a good amount of information on seeds, how to consume them, and what are its benefits. So thank you so much for taking up the session.
Right. Thank you so much, Ayana. But I think we haven't given the answers for the seeds, right? So I think a lot of them have also guessed the answer, guessed it correctly, what the seeds are, right? So the first seed, I just give them the answers, right? The first one is watermelon seeds. The second one is chia seeds. And the third seed that is in the picture is flax seeds. So I just wanted to tell that. But again, thank you so much, all of you, for joining in. And thank you, Ayana, for, patiently asking all the questions. It's thank you so much. Hope all of you have, enjoyed the session and, have something to take away today. So thank you so much. Hope all of you have a great evening.